Hey, this is Schizophrenia Sucks with Nick. Is that my real name? I don't know. You don't know. Who knows? And I need a hook. So if I win the lottery, I'll give my subscribers 10%. Yeah. Also, I don't play the lottery. But this is going to be about never giving up. And I don't know where to start with this, but I'll just say there's some woman, I forget how long she had. I believe it was schizophrenia. I have memory problems, but it's like the core of the issue is there. So I believe she had schizophrenia maybe for like 40 or 50 years or something. And she had tried like probably like most of the medications and I guess a lot of stuff in her life. I forget what the list was. But then she found the ketogenic diet and her schizophrenia went away when she was like 70 or something. So you should never give up hope. And I'm kind of that way. I will talk about keto at some point. I have plans. I'm big into keto. I've been doing keto for I don't know. It could be a decade now. Like mostly keto. Not all the time. I've had gaps, but yeah. So you can always like. There's always a chance that you can get better, find a cure. So, and my own story is like that too. Like I actually had major depressive disorder first for about a decade, and that was like super severe. And I didn't really give up, but I thought there was nothing I could do, and I didn't get on medication for a long time. I mean, when you're depressed, you don't want to do stuff. So, and also I have really severe chronic fatigue, and I still have that. I think it's I'm pretty sure it's worse since I got schizophrenia, but I found ways to counteract it. So, even though my chronic fatigue is worse, I was actually worse off when I just had the major depressive disorder. So I didn't give up. I tried antidepressants. I tried like Wellbutrin. I tried um, Ritalin. I tried like salvia, which actually worked for 3 days, but be very careful with that. Um, First of all, it might be illegal. Second of all, um, it can cause schizophrenia. So, but I was looking for any possible solution to cure my depression, and like you microdose it, so you're not actually like trying to break through or get high off of it. Like if that makes sense. Like it's sort of like you take an extremely small amount, and it works as like an antidepressant. So, and I did it. It lasted for 3 days, but I never did it again. I don't know why. I kind of had to do it in secret at the time because I was living with my grandma, and I don't think she would have approved. She might have kicked me out. Anyway, the point is, don't ever give up, right? Like, so I had 10 years of misery with the depression, and I tried all sorts of stuff, and nothing helped. Like, I wasn't trying a lot, though. I kind of didn't know what to do, and people didn't believe me. So, like, my dad helped me out and took care of me, so I guess he believed me to a degree, but, like, my family just expected me to work and get a job and to be normal, and I was, like, not even able to take a shower consistently. Like, I'm not sure how often I took a shower. Maybe, like, once a week. Maybe less. I'm not sure exactly because of again memory problems. But I definitely wasn't keeping up with hygiene, and that was with no other tasks that I had to do. Like I didn't have to cook, I didn't have to clean, I didn't have to do my laundry, I didn't have to go shopping, I didn't have to work, I didn't socialize besides like playing video games. I had literally the only obligation. I didn't brush my teeth either, so I had like no obligations besides maybe occasionally going to the doctor sometimes, and that was like later. Um, so yeah, I couldn't even like take a shower with no other obligations. Like if I put 100% of my effort into taking a shower, and I still couldn't do it with no other obligations, right? Like that's like I remember like to stand up out of my chair would be harder for me than doing a full set of 400 pound 5x5 squats, right? Like I know what both of those are like, and it's easier to put 400 pounds on your back and squat when you manage your depression or when it's like lighter. Then my depression was so severe, it was way harder. Like I remember to get out of my car or my dad's car or my uncle's car technically. It took me half an hour, right? Like we went to the doctor and we came back, and I was so tired. I literally just sat in the front seat for 30 minutes trying to get out of the car. I was so tired I couldn't do it. So that's how severe my chronic fatigue was. And I was 300 pounds at the time, but that's still not like that's not going to cause you right, like 400 pounds on your back, plus I weigh 200 pounds, it's like 600 pounds. So that's like way heavier, just to give you an idea of how bad my symptoms have been in one case. So yeah, you should never give up. So my like story of hope, right, is that after 10 years of the major depressive disorder and then 4 years of schizophrenia, I found Latuda, and also I'm doing keto. I screwed up the last week. I really I didn't binge eat so much as I ate more closer to maintenance. So I may have overate a little bit, but it's not like I'm like a binge eater. Well, I am a binge eater, but I don't like. I'm not like someone who overeats a lot. Like anyway, so I've actually been better, right? So after 14 years, you think, oh well, you should just give up. You've tried the drugs. I've tried a bunch of drugs. Even with Latuda, I wasn't doing good. Like I was about to be put in conservatorship, and I I was thinking maybe that's a good idea. Like I can just give up, right? Like I'll just take that. That'll be easy. I could have somebody cook and clean for me. Maybe I'll just play video games and enjoy my life that way because I'm not going to be able to work. I'm not going to be able to get a wife, most likely, right? I'm not going to be able to do very much. I'm not going to be able to socialize. And I just was like thinking about, well, maybe it makes sense to do that, right? Like I've tried for 14 years, but I've actually got my own apartment. Well, my mom's paying for it, but I have my own apartment. I'm cleaning it, which only takes 15 minutes a week. But I'm cooking for myself, and I'm cooking twice a day. So I cook hamburger and I cook eggs like twice a day, every day. And then I do the dishes twice a day, every day. And that may not seem like a lot, but I used to throw away food all the time. Like I would buy hamburger, chicken, and vegetables, and I would always cook the hamburger, but I would be too tired to cook the chicken and the vegetables, and a lot of time I would have to throw away food. And I didn't want to waste it. Like I was trying not to waste it. I was trying my hardest to cook, but I was so tired I couldn't cook. Right? Like it was too much for me. I couldn't do it. Like, and I would bulk cook my food too. So I would batch cook everything, right? Like batch bulk cooking, and then do meal prep. So I would have my food cooked for the week. So even though it would take like 45 minutes to cook the hamburger, but to cook the chicken and the vegetables and clean up, it would probably take an hour and a half. And so a lot of times, like the vegetables would go rotten, and the chicken would expire, so I would have to toss it. And I, since I've been at this apartment for about 8 months, I have not tossed one piece of food from expiring. I believe I don't think I've yeah. And of course, I can freeze. I got hamburger in packages now, like sealed plastic. So if they reach the expiration date, I freeze them and then I unfreeze them and cook them like that day. Right, that's how you do it. So I've also been socializing. Like I've been going to church, and I've been going to Bible study. When the Bible study is like 3 hours, so it's actually pretty long, and it's at night, which is hard for me. And like for my symptoms, I get a bit fatigued at night. And also, I've been doing social outings, and I even went on a retreat. Like in this retreat, we had to wake up at 8 in the morning, and I didn't think I was going to be able to do it, but I was able to do it. And like I went on a trip with my friends. I made a bunch of friends too, which is great. Like great, good people. And I went like 2 hours in the car and to a concert, and then came back. We weren't back till like midnight or 2 a.m. or something really late like that. And I was good. So it's crazy. I never thought I'd be able to do that. I thought I'd be too tired. I'd have to sleep in the car. I'd need a bunch of caffeine. And I did take a lot of caffeine, but like I never thought I'd be able to do any of this stuff. Like I really thought it would be too much for me, but I gambled on it and I wanted to see if I could do it. And like the backup plan was if I get tired, I can just rest in the car, right? Like maybe put the seat back and just relax. And sometimes like when I'm at Bible study, I do have to lay down a little bit because it is like, it's from 6:30 to 9:30, and that's at the end of the day. And I usually go to bed around 10. So sometimes I do lay down on the couch. But I'm able to get through it. I'm able to focus and function better too. So like overall, my symptoms are going down. I'm going to the gym now too, but actually, before that, I was like treating this game Hades like a job. I was working on it 40 hours a week. So I was saying, okay, I'm going to play this game like a job. So I'm going to wake up at 8 in the morning. By 9 o'clock, I'm going to be starting working, which is like playing the game. And I can't go on YouTube. I can't take breaks unless it's a scheduled break, right? So I'm going to work for 8 hours at least. And then I'm going to take two 15-minute breaks that are on the clock and one half an hour lunch where it's off the clock, right? So it's like a 9 to 5:30, right? I was trying to simulate a work environment because I mean I enjoy games, but it's not like I wanted to play that much. Like I wouldn't play that much if it was up to me. So I forced myself to do that for like 2 months, and I was able to do it surprisingly. So that's like a huge improvement because like I've been trying to do stuff and I haven't been able to do stuff for years, and even playing video games is really hard for me. Like I couldn't play Dota; that was too stressful for me. I had to give up StarCraft when I had depression because it was too hard to actually do it. And yeah, so that gives you an idea of how bad my fatigue was. And the avolition was before when I just had major depressive disorder, I didn't have avolition. So the point is, you can get better even over like long periods of time, and you just keep trying stuff. Like there's still some things I want to try, like drugs for chronic fatigue, and maybe a different antipsychotic. So there's still hope. There's going to be AI and new technology, and new medications, and even like there's a drug that's not available in the U.S. I think it's a misopride or a simopride, one of the two. I can't ever remember, and that could be brought to the U.S. possibly, or he get a hold of it somehow. So there's always hope. You know, you could get better, like right. Even God could heal you or something, right? So you never know, and you should never give up. Um, like I'm doing better. I'm trying my hardest. I'm trying to diet, but I'm not losing weight. I'm actually like I've been going hard in the gym for 2.5 months, a little bit longer. But I'm gaining weight, but I'm losing fat. So everybody thinks I'm losing weight, right? But I'm actually gaining weight because I went to the gym before and you have muscle memory, and that means that you'll actually like gain muscle back a lot quicker, right? Because your body keeps the nucleus of the cell, and then building the muscle is actually pretty cheap. Like the hard part is building the nucleus, and so I'm getting really strong really fast. In like 2 months, I've gotten like 50% stronger, or even twice as strong, depending on the lift. So I'm not strong yet. I'm still what I consider to be pretty weak, but I'm getting like strong at a pretty quick pace. Yeah, so and that's been hard. I've been getting really bad chronic fatigue. And apparently that's the thing. If you exercise more than moderately, or even moderately, it makes your chronic fatigue way worse. So I may actually, because of schizophrenia, it's possible I may have to choose between going to the gym and exercise and working. So that is something I just looked up like 5 minutes ago, and that's worrisome. I really like to be able to lift weights, but I may actually have to give it up. So we'll see. And I've been failing on my diet for about 8 months, and even the year before that, when I was in the drug program, I was failing on my diet there. But that was reasonable because I had no fridge, I had nowhere to cook, I had no money, so I was eating poorly, and there was really no options, right? Like I couldn't do carnivore, um, and I was too tired to shop every day. So every day I'd have to walk 15 minutes to Trader Joe's, and that was too tiring for me to do at that point in time. Um, so yeah, I mean now I could probably do it, and I actually live, or funny enough, I live like 7 minutes from a Trader Joe's, so I could, and I have Instacart now, like grocery delivery, and I can also go shopping once per week, and like I have food storage, so that's not a problem. But the point is, you shouldn't ever give up because things change, right? Like I'm doing a lot better. There's still options. There's still hope. I tried Wellbutrin again for schizophrenia. That didn't help, so I got off of it like a month ago. Um, and there's other supplements on the market. Like I'm trying several different supplements, like usually one at a time, but I am currently trying NAC, and I still have some taurine left that I'm taking. I don't think they've helped at all, but ginkgo seemed like it helped a ton, and B vitamins might help a little bit. Like that's one of the ones that they recommend. I don't know how much it's helped. And I just took my magnesium spray, right? Because when I had Swiss chard, I think the magnesium, and I can't have that anymore because of kidney stones, but it made me have a lot of energy. So maybe my magnesium was low because that could be a chronic fatigue thing too, I think. I'm not sure. I'm just starting to delve into chronic fatigue um, because it's like the last symptom that I really haven't researched. So yeah, your life can change a lot. And I had one friend, and now I have a bunch of friends. I have a church, and I have social events I go to. Like I didn't do anything social. I just kept to myself and like texted my one friend, and that's about it. So your life can improve drastically. And I'm on a housing list, so I'm going to get free housing, but it might take about 2 years. And if I can work by then, maybe I won't have to be in the free housing. Maybe I can do something else. Um, but I've like been getting better, and like thank God for that. Like really. And once I lose more weight, maybe that'll be the solution. And maybe I'll have to give up the lifting weights, and then I'll be relatively normal, so I can work, which would be great. Like I'd love to be able to work, or at least not be on disability, or not be disabled. I don't know. It's pretty brutal. Um, so yeah, and I figured a way around avolition, so my avolition isn't bothering me that much anymore. Um, and I've kind of dealt with anhedonia, so I figured out that it's annoying, but you kind of don't need a lot of pleasure from doing things. You can kind of just do things anyway and get some pleasure out of it. And I have like a program. It's called PEPS, and it's for schizophrenia, and that's like to try to retrain your brain to be able to enjoy things so that you can do things. Um, yeah, so I'm really just fighting chronic fatigue. I barely have hallucinations or voices or anything like that. Like, I don't have voices, and occasionally I'll see something. Like, maybe like once a week, I'll have a visual hallucination for like 1 second or less. Like, I've seen like a rat running around, or like a bug, or like a spider. So, um, yeah, very, very minor. So the Latuda's working, and I have like no side effects from it. I'm not like infinitely hungry. There's no sexual side effects, which are horrible on Abilify and Risperidone. So my life is just going better. I keep making more and more friends. My phone is full of people's numbers, and I'm a total like absolute introvert. Like I'm INTJ, and like 100% introvert. But I have all these friends, and we do stuff occasionally, so it's great. So you should never give up, right? Like your life can always get better. Like I didn't have a lot of friends for years. I had like a little bit of internet friends, but that I don't know. That doesn't feel like those are very solid. So your life can improve, and you never know when it's going to get better, right? So it's like never. You should never despair, never give up. And like the point of life, like especially to me, obviously, is like well, it's like you're here to have a relationship with God. So all this other stuff doesn't really matter, right? Like working, who cares? You don't even have to like get married and have kids, right? Like that's like that one's harder though. I guess like the relationships is like a closer thing, so that's hard for me. But that's not what life is about, right? Like your life is about your relationship with God. So, right, if you're not going to get purpose from a spouse, you're not going to get well. You might get purpose from kids, but like marriage is not going to like solve your problems. And in fact, it could add a lot of problems. So, um, yeah. So basically, never give up. And there's some other story about someone who had, I think it was schizophrenia for 20 years, and they tried keto and it like went away, like it went into remission. So, I mean, don't give your hopes up and like depend on that to enjoy life because you may not get better. So you have to like live where you're at, but you shouldn't give up hope that something could work. Like, don't be a sucker and don't fall for like stuff, but um, you should never give up hope, right? Like, my life could still get better. who knows, maybe I'll have like a pretty young girl marry me and I'll be able to work, right? Like it could happen. I've been getting so much better, like going from having to be put in conservatorship to being independent. Like my mom almost does nothing for me except for pay rent. So besides the money, I'm basically an adult. And I'm also volunteering at my church. Like they have like a homeless outreach thing. So I'm doing that. My other buddy was inviting me out to share the gospel, but he hasn't called me on it. So I'm not sure if they haven't got together. Um, and I'm going to therapy for CBT. Um, and I've been going to all my medical appointments, which have been a few. I had dermatology, I had sleep apnea test, I had some blood work and regular doctor. So I've been doing and I've been dealing with a lawyer for SSI and dealing with Social Security, and also I've been trying to get my I need my dad's birth certificate to get his pension, and I haven't done that yet, even though it's been years because I've been so disabled. And they so I've been dealing with that. So that's all I'll say because like a big headache. So there's a bunch of stuff that I've been doing. I work on self improvement. I'm studying stuff on YouTube all the time. I'm even moving a little bit into business and finance. So I'm just getting better, and I hope everybody else gets better too. And I used to get hives like very regularly. I got them in January. Excuse me. I got hives in January, but they actually went away pretty quick, only 6 weeks. They used to last for months. So also my hives have been reduced. I used to get chronic hives for months and they were super severe. And it was like barbed wire in my throat and it was so itchy. I would scratch when I was asleep. So there was like no way to do anything about it. And that was like miserable. I couldn't even sleep lying down or I'd vomit. So I'd have to like sleep sitting in a chair with a pillow in front of me. So, and I've also had kidney stones. So I've been through a lot. I've had multiple kidney stones. I had to have a surgery even. So I've been through a lot, but my life is getting better. Um, the main, like I'm saying, my life is actually pretty good. I have healthy, good food, right? I'm doing keto and carnivore. Um, I'm not losing weight, but I'm losing fat. And everything is going the way it should be. The only the only thing really missing is having a wife, and that'll probably come along, um, like when it comes along. So I'm not like I do have anxiety about that. So I've had a little bit of anxiety recently, which is like a negative, about a few different things. And I've never had anxiety before, oddly enough. So that's been reduced a lot though. So even the anxiety is getting a lot better. So your life can always change and your life can always get better. You never know. And of course it can, on the opposite, it could always get worse. So enjoy it when it's getting better, but you shouldn't give up. Like schizophrenia is not a reason to give up. It's demoralizing. It's hard. It's brutal. The voices are super negative. And hearing that all the time is going to make it hard to not give up, but you should never give up. You should always keep trying. Like I've been through like homelessness. I've been to jail. I've had all sorts of horrible stuff, like horrible treatment by society. Like everybody turned against me except for my best friend. And yeah, so I've been at like, I guess that is rock bottom. That is pretty bad. Or maybe not, but pretty close. But I never gave up. So never give up and trust God and try not to focus on like the things that you don't have, I guess, because that just makes it worse, right? Like if I just focus on, oh, well, I don't have a wife, and that would make my life miserable. So I have everything else for the most part besides working, but I don't even care about that. I've accepted that as like, maybe it's not for me. And there's also hope for the future that I can work. So anyway, this is getting a bit long, but I do want you guys to have hope and try keto, look it up, do the research. If not, I'm going to post a ton of videos about keto, because keto is a game changer, a lifesaver for me. And I hope it'll be for you too. All right. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, request content if you want, and God bless.